Hi there, everyone. My name is Cynthia Schaub, and I'm here doing a little interview with Jennie Baus. Jeanie is an EFT practitioner. Hi, Jeanie. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Good. Awesome. So we're going to get started. Um, what is your journey with EFT?
My journey with EFT started about 2 years ago when I was very sick and I did not know what I was sick with. I had been to over 12 different physicians and they just said I had some mysterious illness, but it kept landing me in the emergency room probably about 40 times in the last 3 years. And about 5 hospitalizations. And approximately a little over a year ago, somebody just casually mentioned, you should get yourself checked for mold toxicity. And I reached out to a world-renowned mold specialist, Dr. Shoemaker, in the Midwest. And I told him my symptoms, which were just all over the place. They didn't really, it was very hard to track, which is common with mold toxicity. And he told me some tests to get, and I got the tests, and it came back positive that I had about 6 different strains of toxic mold microorganisms throughout my body. So finally, I knew what was going on with my illness and these strange symptoms that were affecting me daily, really impacting my life terribly. And a friend of mine who is a social worker knew that I was really declining rapidly and I wasn't able to work anymore or drive anymore. And, going to the hospital twice a week is no cup of tea. And this had been going on for months, and I was really getting in a state of hopelessness, fatigue, inability to sleep, and the microorganisms had started impacting my heart rhythm. So my heart was now starting to be affected. So she said, go on the internet, review it, and see if you think this is something that possibly could help you manage your symptoms. Not that I was going to think that EFT was going to fix my symptoms, but I just wanted a tool to manage it without taking more medication, because my current medication wasn't even working. So I wasn't about to try a new medication. Well, I went online. I looked at some YouTube channels that introduced me to it. And then I went and I purchased some books by Dawson Church. I purchased 3 books by Dawson Church.
Yeah.
I started reading them. I learned how to do the EFT tapping sequence. And then I set up some appointments with some EFT practitioners online. And I was off to the races with beginning to manage my symptoms without medication. So the symptoms that I initially started getting relief from EFT was the insomnia. And when I would have these changes in my heart rhythm, I would get very panicky, because usually it would mean I'd have to go to the ER and I'd get very nervous. So I started tapping every time I would have one of these events that would change my heart rhythm. And to my shock and disbelief, it actually calmed me down enough where I was able to manage the symptoms in my heart and in my chest, where I wasn't having to go to the ER constantly. And wake up my husband saying, listen, we got to go to the ER again. And it was really life-changing implementing the tools of EFT for me.
Wow, what a story. I love that book, Mind to Matter by Dawson Church.
Yes. I took that course, and I took that online 12-week course with him too, which really delves into a lot of experiential exercises that he teaches the participants.
Yeah, I love that book. So what is your training in your background?
My training before EFT was nursing school when I was 21. started as an LVN, went on to go on for my registered nursing license. And I went into intensive care unit work for about 20 years and then did 2 years in ER. And then I switched over, a very big change, to hospice. And in hospice, then I transitioned to home health care and skilled nursing and assisted living. So in the last 10 years, 7 years ago, I went back to college, got my master's in gerontology, because that was my focus in the last 10 years, was working with older adult population. And then I started getting training in health and wellness as coaching. And then about 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to start studying EFT and start going down the path of training to be a practitioner. So now, now with my nursing background, I combine all of my nursing training and my nursing experience with health and wellness coaching, which is really a different technique than just giving instructions to your patient. You know,
Yeah.
coaching is a very different tool.
Mhm.
And then EFT again is another tool in my toolbox to help the clients that I work with.
So that goes right into my next question. You know, why do you do EFT? Why did you decide to add that to your toolbox?
I decided to add it to my toolbox based on my personal experience of how it helped me manage my symptoms. And many of the symptoms that I personally was being impacted when I was really critically ill were many of the symptoms that I see with the patients that I see out in the field. And a lot of the people that I do coaching with are patients that have Lyme disease or autoimmune disorders. And another group of people that I work with are caregivers that are at home taking care of a disabled person or a person that's in the process of dying, or a person with Alzheimer's or dementia, and they're full-time caregivers. And then there's another whole group that are usually, the average caregiver in America is 46-year-old female who works full-time and still has to work and be a caregiver 20 hours a week to
For the aging population.
to the mother. Usually it's to the mother. And they're doing this on top of handling their own family and working, and they're getting exhausted and overwhelmed. And a lot of times feelings of physical fatigue, headaches, weight gain, insomnia, these symptoms all start cropping up as their own immune system and as their own body starts to decline in health because they're stressed out and exhausted.
Right.
So seeing that need and this tool, knowing that it's so effective, especially for stress management tool, brought me to the decision to get trained so I could utilize this and share it with people as an adjunct to the other things that I was working with them.
Wow, you have a lot of experience, and you basically just answered my last question. The types that you prefer to work with, or that you tend to, lean into working with more. But you have a lot of experience under your belt.
Well, the experience started with me, and I was a sick person. I was a sick cookie, but doing tapping 3-4 times a day on my symptoms instead of praying for hopefully a solution from the pill that I was being given. And many times I have to tell you, the pills I was prescribed were not working at all.
Right.
So, you look at a bottle of medication and you look at the side effects, and then you say, but I've got this other solution in my hand at my fingertips that requires no medication, no equipment, that I can use at a moment's notice. And within 2, 3, 4 rounds of tapping, I am getting a response in my body that helps the whole body energetically relax and calm down and feel at more peace. And then I'm able to start to manage the symptoms that are going on. And My daughter has been diagnosed with neurological Lyme. She was bitten by some mosquitoes about 2.5 years ago. And within a month of her being bitten, we had her tested, and she did test positive for Lyme. We didn't know at the time it was going to affect her neurologically. And tapping with my daughter has been a life-changing experience for me because, again, the treatment plan for Lyme is not straightforward. It's actually very different for almost every patient. Their symptoms vary greatly.
It's like one size doesn't fit all.
Exactly. One size does not fit all. Treatment protocols vary from doctor to doctor and from clinic to clinic. And teaching her EFT and tapping with her has greatly improved the severity of her symptoms, the intensity of her symptoms, how long they last, and has improved her quality of life dramatically. Not only when she taps with me, but now she has a tool that she can tap on in the middle of the night when she's waking up with symptoms.
Right.
And that's another category now that I've been working with, tapping with people in her 2 online Lyme symptom groups.
Wow.
And that, it's a tool to share with them that makes an impact in their life, literally can make an impact in their life the day that they start to learn the technique.
So you're empowering people, and you have so much experience, and I can see you helping so many people. And I appreciate you taking the time to answer my questions, Jeanie. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.